Welcome to our journey back in time, exploring the life of one of history's most legendary figures, Alexander the Great. Born in 356 BC in the ancient kingdom of Macedonia, Alexander would rise to become a conqueror whose name remains synonymous with genius, military strategy, and unprecedented ambition. By the age of 30, Alexander had amassed one of the largest empires of the ancient world, stretching from Greece all the way to Egypt and into northwest India. His campaigns reshaped the world, blending the cultures of the East and West, and laying the groundwork for what would become the Hellenistic civilization. But what drove a young king to push the boundaries of the known world? Was it sheer ambition, a desire to outdo his legendary hero Achilles, or something more? Imagine, what would our world look like today if Alexander the Great had never set out to conquer it? Stay with us as we uncover the life, the battles, and the enduring legacy of Alexander the Great. In the heart of ancient Macedonia, in the royal city of Pella, a child was born who would reshape the known world. This child was Alexander, born in 356 BC to King Philip II and Queen Olympias. From the outset, his life was set against the backdrop of royal intrigue and the high expectations of a kingdom that dominated the Greek world. His father, Philip, was a brilliant military leader and a shrewd king who transformed Macedonia from a fringe kingdom into a major power. His mother, Olympias, was a woman of strong will and fervent Hellenistic beliefs, ensuring her son knew of his alleged divine descent. The young prince's education was nothing short of stellar, personally overseen by Aristotle, one of Greece's greatest philosophers. Under Aristotle's tutelage at the Temple of the Nymphs at Myesa, Alexander was instilled with a love for philosophy, science, medicine, and literature, shaping not just a future king but a visionary leader. Even in these early years, signs of his brilliance and ambition began to surface. Stories tell of him taming the untamable horse, Bucephalus, a feat that impressed his father and hinted at his unique capabilities and destiny to lead. His formative years were marked by an extraordinary blend of royal duty, intellectual rigor, and a burgeoning ambition that was nurtured by the complex dynamics of his family and the astute teachings of his mentor. The winds of change swept through Macedonia in 336 BC with the assassination of King Philip II. This pivotal moment opened the path for his son, Alexander, then only 20 years old, to ascend to the throne. It was a time of uncertainty and peril, as the sudden death of a powerful king left a vacuum that threatened to destabilize the entire empire. Young and ambitious, Alexander moved quickly to seize control. His claim to the throne was not uncontested. Rivals and dissenters saw his youth as a weakness. However, Alexander proved to be anything but weak. He acted decisively to consolidate his power, leading his forces to suppress revolts throughout Macedonia and the Balkans. Cities that dared to revolt were dealt with harshly, demonstrating both his military prowess and his resolve to maintain unity and order in his realm. In one of his most ruthless displays, Alexander razed the city of Thebes to the ground, sparing only the temples and the house of the poet Pindar. This act sent a clear message across Greece and beyond. Alexander was not only his father's son, but also an adept ruler in his own right, capable of wielding both mercy and might. With his power firmly established, Alexander set his sights beyond the borders of Macedonia. The young king dreamed not just of stability, but of expansion, an empire that would stretch across continents and cultures, reshaping the world forever. As the newly established ruler of Macedonia, Alexander's ambitions stretched far beyond the borders of his homeland. His most audacious goal was to conquer the Persian Empire, a colossal entity that had once posed a grave threat to the Greek states. In 334 BC, Alexander launched his campaign against the Persians, marking the beginning of an epic series of battles that would forge his legacy as one of history's greatest military minds. His first major encounter was at the river Granicus. Here, against overwhelming odds and the formidable Persian satraps, Alexander's tactical genius shone brightly. His cavalry charged through the river, striking with ferocious speed and coordination, securing a stunning victory that opened the gates of Asia Minor. Moving deeper into enemy territory, the young king faced Darius III at the Battle of Issus in 333 BC. This battle was a masterpiece of military strategy. Alexander's forces, outnumbered and far from home, outmaneuvered the vast Persian army. His decisive attack caused Darius to flee, leaving his family and a treasure trove in Alexander's hands. The defining moment came in 331 BC at Gaugamela, near modern-day Mosul. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander's strategic brilliance led to a decisive victory that effectively dismantled the Persian Empire, making him the ruler of all Asia. Following these victories, Alexander's campaign continued with the relentless siege of Tyre, a strategic coastal city. The siege lasted 7 months, showcasing Alexander's determination and ingenuity. His conquest did not stop there. He moved through Jerusalem and into Egypt, where he was hailed as a liberator. In Egypt, he founded the city of Alexandria, destined to become a beacon of culture and learning, central in the Hellenistic world. Through these campaigns, Alexander not only dismantled the Persian Empire, but also laid the foundations for a cultural and political fusion that would shape the ancient world for centuries to come. Alexander the Great was not only a conqueror but also a revolutionary military tactician whose strategies reshaped ancient warfare. His approach combined speed, flexibility, and a profound understanding of terrain and enemy psychology, enabling him to win battles where defeat seemed almost certain. One of his most significant innovations was the use of the Macedonian phalanx, a formation of pikemen known for their ability to create an impenetrable wall of spears. Alexander enhanced this formation by integrating more mobile and versatile cavalry units, which he often led personally. This combination allowed him to exploit weaknesses in enemy lines and envelop them in decisive maneuvers. Alexander's leadership style was charismatic and hands-on. He led by example, often placing himself in the thick of battle, where his visibility significantly boosted his soldiers' morale and willingness to follow him into perilous situations. Furthermore, Alexander's leadership extended beyond the battlefield. He was a master of psychological warfare and diplomacy, often adopting elements of local cultures and incorporating them into his administration, which helped him maintain control over a diverse empire. The legacy of Alexander's tactics and leadership endures in military studies to this day. His campaigns are studied for their brilliant strategies and innovative approaches, which have influenced countless generations of military leaders around the world. In the year 323 BC, at the height of his power and at the young age of 32, Alexander the Great's life came to an abrupt end in the palace of Nebuchadnezzar II in Babylon. The exact cause of his death remains shrouded in mystery, with theories ranging from fever due to malaria or typhoid, to poisoning, or even the cumulative effects of his numerous battle wounds. The death of Alexander plunged his empire into immediate chaos. He left no clear successor, reportedly uttering on his deathbed that his empire should go to the strongest or to the best, which ignited a power struggle among his top generals, known as the Diadochi. These conflicts eventually led to the division of his vast empire into several Hellenistic kingdoms, including Ptolemaic Egypt, the Seleucid Empire in Persia, and the Antigonid dynasty in Macedon. Each of these regions was heavily influenced by Greek culture, language, and administration, which Alexander had spread throughout his conquests. Alexander's legacy extended far beyond the immediate aftermath of his death. His campaigns had spread Greek culture across the known world, creating a new era known as the Hellenistic period, where Greek and Eastern cultures melded in ways that would shape the development of art, science, and politics. The cities he founded, most notably Alexandria in Egypt, became centers of learning and culture, fostering advancements that would influence future generations for millennia. His blending of cultures laid the groundwork for the Roman Empire and significantly influenced later Western and Middle Eastern civilizations. Though his life was brief, the imprint Alexander the Great left on history is monumental, spanning continents and epochs. His vision of a united world, though never fully realized in his lifetime, continues to inspire and intrigue scholars, leaders, and dreamers across the globe. As we reach the end of our exploration into the life and legacy of Alexander the Great, we are left with the monumental scale of his achievements. In just over a decade, Alexander expanded his empire from the small kingdom of Macedonia to an expanse that covered much of the known world, from Greece to Egypt and into the heart of Asia. He was a king who not only conquered lands but also conquered minds, fostering an era of cultural and intellectual exchange that shaped the ancient world and laid foundations for the modern. It is for these reasons that he earns the title, the Great, not merely for his military successes, but for his visionary approach to governance and cultural integration. Modern leaders and individuals can draw much from Alexander's example. His strategic thinking, unyielding determination, and ability to inspire and manage diverse groups remain relevant. However, His story also serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of unchecked ambition and the fragility of empires. We invite you to share your thoughts about Alexander. What lessons do you think modern society can learn from his life and leadership? Comment below with your views and any questions you might have about this remarkable historical figure. And if you enjoyed this dive into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications about more fascinating historical content. Join us next time as we continue to explore the figures and events that have shaped our world.